have mics up there. There's two mics up there per table. Do they need more?
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ashraf Sabahat. I am co-chair of Election and Nomination Committee to conduct the elections for this year. I have the honor and privilege to serve as moderator in today's debate among APPNA election candidates. On behalf of APPNA's Election and Nomination Committee, I welcome all the members and the candidates who are participating in the forthcoming APPNA elections. Let me first introduce our panel members. We have 3 panel members. I'll request them to come to stage. I'll request Dr. Saima Zafar, Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh, and Dr. Zia Moiz. APPNA Nomination Election Committee has decided few rules regarding today's debate. We'll provide 2 minutes to each of the candidates for an opening statement. After the opening statement, each panel member will ask 1 question to the candidates, and candidates will have 2 minutes to reply back. We have assigned a timekeeper to just remind them to stay in time. A yellow card will be shown at conclusion of 1.5 minutes, and after completion of 2 minutes, a red card will be shown. After all the questions, the candidate for a closing remark. I will first request our candidate. Yes, sir. Because of shortness of time, we are not taking any questions because we are already late. We have to finish by 5 o'clock. I'm really sorry for that. I will request first candidates for the position of Treasurer, Dr. Aftab Khan and Dr. Sajid Mahmood, to please come and have a seat on the stage. I have just seen Dr. Sheikh. Please join us on the stage. I will first invite Dr. Aftab Khan. He is contesting for the position of Treasurer to come to the podium for opening statement for 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Steve Jobs once said, "The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do." My friends, I'm one of them. I've been involved in the management of APPNA office and finances for many years as a chair, co-chair, and a member of office management and finance committees. Ladies and gentlemen, when I joined APPNA, records were kept on paper. I worked tirelessly with my team to convert paper records into electronic format. Online meeting registration, online membership registration, CME programs, online verified list of APPNA members, and even APPNA online elections are all the results of e-APPNA conversion. APPNA chapter was in debt. With the help of my team, I raised a record $200,000 and paid off more than $150,000 in outstanding loans, thus making Chicago the only chapter in the history of APPNA to have an asset of more than $500,000. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you and ask for your vote and support to be your treasurer next year. When you elect me as your treasurer next year, we will make APPNA meetings more affordable. We'll make APPNA finances completely transparent. We'll increase APPNA membership by lowering lifetime membership dues. We will increase APPNA revenue by introducing a system of yearly membership renewal. We will get grants for APPNA projects and enhance the confidence of APPNA members. Working together, we'll make APPNA not only a financially vibrant organization, but a place of learning, education, friendship, and entertainment, where members will be proud of APPNA and APPNA will be proud of them. Thank you and stay blessed.
Thank you, Dr. Aftab. I will now invite Dr. Sajid Mahmood for an opening statement for 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Mark Twain once said, "Always do the right thing. This will gratify some people and astonish the rest." I'm Dr. Sajid Mahmood. I'm a graduate of Dow Medical College, class of 1990, and currently a practicing physician in Chicago area. I practice critical care medicine, and I'm a CEO of my practice group with my partner. I'm also a fellow of American College of Healthcare Executives, and as far as my services to APPNA local chapter, website, but I will only restrict to certain points that are worth mentioning. For any non-profit professional organization like APPNA, there are 4 cornerstones that needs to be addressed and be well versed at: education, healthcare, philanthropy, and, as APPNA bylaws state, proper guidance and training for our young graduates. As far as healthcare is concerned, I am proud to say that I have my colleagues and residents, as well as young physicians, while administration of successful and financially viable meetings. Involved and had been actively engaged in advocacy activities of APPNA at Washington, D.C., and advocating to our lawmakers for GRAD Act, which stands for additional graduates, for which help both the incoming physicians as well as the local and underserved areas. So with this thing, for APPNA treasurer, which is specific organization, but in the broader sense, I will be also an APPNA executive committee. So that's why I want you to please vote for me and help me serve this organization to bring it to the next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sajid. If you can please stay here. Now, the candidates to stay within time limit so we can finish this discussion well in time. I will request Dr. Saima Zafar to ask the question to our candidate for treasurer, and same question will be asked to other candidate, and we'll invite him after he answers to reply back to this question. Dr. Saima, please.
Assalamu alaikum ji. My question is, can you give us 2 ideas that you will bring to the organization for APPNA?
Thank you, Dr. Saima Zafar. Yes, I had been studying the model of professional organizations of different specialties, like in my field is Stanford Society of Critical Care Medicine and American College of Chest Physicians. So model that we can boast of. So my first priority will be that the treasurer, as a position for treasurer, I have to be at least aware of the basic terminologies and working so that I can work with my accountant well, and my membership, and whoever potential donors are, they can look at our books, they can look at our records. So that's going to be my first step. And second, that we will survey and look for potential or donors who had been helping in the broader sense to various organizations, and then invite them to serve for our projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sajid. Same question we are asking.
What 2 ideas will you bring to the organization for being creative in increasing funding of APPNA?
Strength of the organization is measured by the number of members it has. APPNA has only 2,300 lifetime members. If you look at the number of members lifetime we are making over the last 5 years, unfortunately we are making only 40 lifetime members per year, except for 1 year in which we made 677 new lifetime members. The reason was that we lowered the lifetime dues to increase the strength of the society. We'll also streamline and introduce a system of yearly membership renewal to increase the revenue of the society. We'll also get grants from outside the organization so we can do more projects. And I'm pretty sure working together will make it a better organization, a better place of learning, education, friendship, and entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aftab. Now I'll invite Dr. Sajid Mahmood to come to podium, and I'll request Dr. Zia Muiz to ask in a minute.
So, Dr. Sajid, you've mentioned about the experience in managing your practice and organization. But my question is specifically that what is your experience in managing financial matters of organizations, not just for-profit, but also non-profit organizations, and what strategies do you plan on using for creating and planning the budget for a
So again, as far as non-profit organization, the basic thing is start with the compliance with the state and federal rules, that the taxes and books, the taxes will be filed in an appropriate time, and then, of course, the organization and the constitution will be strict. And with these things, then we should seek help from professional accountants strategy.
Thank you, Dr. Sajid. I'll invite Dr. Aftab to come to podium to answer the same question, and I'll request Dr. Zia Moiz to please repeat the question.
So, Aftab Khan, what is your experience in planning the budget of APPNA in the year that you're elected?
I have many characteristics that I'll be using to make this organization a better place. I can raise funds and get the job done. My track records as the chair of APPNA Spring Meeting, APPNA Strategy Planning Meeting, and many other meetings speaks for itself. As the president of the Chicago APPNA chapter, when I became the president, our chapter was in debt. I raised a record $200,000 and also in the not-for-profit organization and for-profit organizations. I have run 14 to 15 clinics in the rural areas of Chicago and Illinois. I'll be using all these experiences. I'll bring the people together, I'll designate the duties, and I'll get the jobs done and make this organization a better place. A better place not only financially, but also a place of learning, education, friendship, and enjoyment, where you will be proud of APPNA and I'll be proud of APPNA. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aftab. Now I'll request our third panel member, Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh, to ask the question to our candidate for treasurer, Dr. Aftab Khan.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Aftab Khan. I have a rocket science question and not far from what my colleagues have asked. So it is how financial discipline in APPNA, including any decrease or increase in the membership fees, whether annual or lifetime.
I think what I have said previously also, I really believe that all the financial problems of the society or any other problems that you face can be solved very easily if you work on the simple principle of transparency. Transparency means that you provide your membership a clear, unedited report of the society and get the feedback from them and implement it as needed with the consensus of your EC and the board of members. As a leader of the organization, I'll make decisions on the basis of transparency, which are good for the organization and not for myself. I will also work with my members of the office staff, my EC and my board members, and I'll use the principle of connect and collaboration. And I'm pretty sure by using all these things and my experience in a better place, and by lowering the fees, membership fee, I'll increase the number of the members in the society. And I can give you an example that when I call the different organizations to donate me money, they ask me, how many members do you have? If I have only 100 members, they'll give me $100. If I make the society 5,000 members strong, I can easily raise your income from $1 million to $2 million. I will do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aftab. Dr. Sajid Mahmood, I'll request Dr. Sheikh to please repeat the question.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sajid Mahmood. My question is, as I said, is a rocket science question, not much different from my colleagues. So how would you be able to improve the financial discipline in APPNA, including the annual or life membership dues to improve?
Seems like a little bit overlap with the previous question, but I will specifically address the membership aspect. And to that, I had been thinking for quite a while, and I have a three-pronged strategy for that. First of all, the lifetime dues for APPNA is, in my opinion, is kind of high. Okay, and we have addressed in my personal capacity, I have addressed that to various presidents to bring it down, to make it more receptive for new members to embrace that. Besides, Second, the membership has to be more attractive for new members to come in terms of better CME activities, better professional assistance in their practices or in their malpractice insurance, because based on my experience, it's been really challenged to bring new members to agree or to commit for lifetime membership. And then the third is that the membership dues has to be split in installments as has been done in some of the previous years, so that will make it more attractive. And I can add one more thing to that, that most of our members are also take membership for their local chapters or their alumnus. So if we can combine or make it more attractive, that okay, if you commit for APPNA lifetime membership, you will get, your alumnus or your chapter membership will be included in that, so in order that to be more attractive. That's mine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aftab Khan and Sajid Mahmood, to answer questions by our panel members. Now, concluding remarks, we'll offer 2 minutes to each of you, and I will request Dr. Aftab, please come up and for 2 minutes for the concluding remarks. Thank you.
For many years, I have been amazed at the dedication and hard work of the officers and members of the society. I have always been wanted to join this organization and serve this organization not only as a member, but also as a leader of the organization. I possess many characteristics that can make me a better leader for this organization. I'm a hard worker, I can raise funds, I can get the job done. I've done it in the PPS house, PPS meetings, APPNA spring meetings, and many other meetings. Given the opportunity, using my experience, I'm ready to make this organization a better place, not only financially, but also otherwise. My experience is vast. I've been working with the organization for many years. I started to work in this organization when the opportunity was given to me to become the chair of the committee in the first APPNA spring meeting that we had many years ago in Chicago. Since then, I have risen from the ranks, from the one chair to the other chair, and now I'm ready to serve as the chair of APPNA spring meeting last year, and also I want to be your finance trader next year. Today I stand before you and ask for your vote and support to be your trader next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aftab Khan. Dr. Sajid Mahmood, for your concluding remarks, 2 minutes, please.
Honorable membership, it would be very important to see at your candidate based on his past experience, and I am proud to say that I have served my alumnus, Dow Medical College, which is the largest alumnus of APPNA, at the level of counselor as well as trader. When I was trader of Dow Medical College alumnus, I was able to complete the finances and everything before the end of the year, for which I was commended by my colleagues and my seniors equally. It would look kind of insensitive and awkward on my part if I don't address the recent challenges faced by our dear organization in the face of being investigated by federal agencies without strengthen the internal mechanism and processes to the point where these conflicts can be amicably resolved without unnecessary friction as well as financial resources. I will also request my seniors and colleagues who have served this organization since its inception to improve the organizational structure, including consideration of board of trustees, authorities, as well as potential increase in number of members as requested and told by various membership. In addition, as part of executive committee and decision-making body of the organization, if I elected as treasurer, hopefully for the next year, I will make sure that only eligible, competent, and experienced members would be tasked to lead key projects and committees without violation of membership or selection criteria. So please vote for me, Dr. Sajid Mahmood, for Treasurer 2019. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aftab Khan and Dr. Sajid Mahmood. We'll now be inviting candidate for secretary. I'll request Dr. Lubna Naeem to please come to the stage. She is the only candidate for this position, but we'll go the same steps. We'll offer Dr. Lubna Naeem 2 minutes for opening remarks, and after that, the panel will ask one question each, and at the end, we'll have 2 minutes for concluding remarks. Dr. Lubna Naeem, thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to stand before an accomplished physician audience. I'm a board-certified practicing internist and a community health advocate. Benefit of the trust comes with the promises kept. As APPNA's treasurer, moving forward with transparency and due diligence had been my priority. Long-awaited audit is completed and is available for the first time in history on APPNA's website since February. To get the best value of our assets, a thorough comparative analysis on the growth and allocation with big 5 investment firms is on the way. As a treasurer, I promised teamwork, effective legislation, and opportunities for gender democracy. I'm proud to say that I proposed legislation for anti-harassment policy so female leaders can play their roles without intimidation in governance strata, and proposed having a third-party mediation policy as a supplemental mechanism for volatile grievances. This is the need of the day and is a deterrent for future lawsuits. I believe in building bridges through the power of compassion. Before we even signed up for the regional alliance of APPNA Alliance, in October 2017, it was the first time in history API National Fall Meeting raised funds for APPNA Mobile Clinic in San Antonio, and I was leading that fundraising alliance with our counterpart. As APPNA Women and Children Affairs Committee chairperson, promoted national awareness and educational campaigns on the issues of childhood obesity, breast cancer, and many other pertinent issues such as child sexual abuse. Our work has led to President Obama
Thank you, Dr.
award.
Lubna Naeem. I'm sorry, to be fair with all the candidates, we are enforcing the time limit. As soon as some candidate will see a red card, please say thank you and stop. I will really appreciate that. Absolutely, absolutely. I will request our panel members to ask the questions. This time I'll ask Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh to ask the first question. Please, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Lubna Naeem. You know your business and you're already doing it, and you have no contender. So even then we decided we'll ask you something. So the question that I have is, what will be your strategy in future to increase APPNA membership by reaching to higher than what we have, which is about 3,000, and the number of Pakistani American physicians or Pakistani physicians in this country are about 18,000.
You know, the thing is, I already discussed that in my treasurer report. It is all about members' benefit. We are physicians. First and foremost, we are physicians. And when I looked at the physicians' benefits, which is the members, I would call them physicians, the physician benefits, they were car rentals, they were attorney fees, some hotel discounts. And when I looked at the trend of these privileges being used, there were hardly any, because these are the services that the physician members, that is not their prime need. Their prime need for, as being physicians, is figuring it out how they can improve their practices so they can offer the best care. So what I proposed was to offer tools, services, and products so they can offer the best care to their patients. This also applies to the younger physicians, and I call younger physicians as practicing physicians within the 10 years of after their graduation, being fellow or resident. APPNA, what APPNA can do, APPNA can have a classified portal where there are job postings for H1J1, where there are practice tools offered, such as electronic health records, accreditation for their practices. Out to the larger physician groups, the practicing groups, then offer them, hey, you know what, these are the services that we are offering them. So these are the few things I believe that the physicians need. This is not a political organization. This is a medical organization and a professional organization. So these are the needs of physicians, and I propose to offer these services. Thank you.
Next question by Dr. Zia Muiz.
So, Dr. Lubna, can you share with us the vision that you have for management of the APPNA office and better communication with the membership in general about what is going on in APPNA leadership and the plans that you all have?
Governance, pretty much the basic principles of governance are teamwork, effective legislation, and communication. Yes, we have become better at legislation, and we need improvement in communication, and it is really no rocket science. We are doing all the good work. Why are we just not, posting it out there? As a treasurer, first thing what I did was, after having an audit, first time in the history we posted on the website. It's no big deal. It's available for all the members. It's a peace of mind. Hey, you know what? The organization is not doing anything they should not. And most of the time, they are not. But the lack of communication creates doubts. So all the committees work, the legislative work that the APPNA is doing, it should be posted out on the website. And it should be available for their review. And the feedback. Feedback is extremely important. If we do not have a mechanism of feedback, there's no way we can improve. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a line of our members here probably upset or not knowing, misinformed, uninformed, talking about or just venting their feelings out. So if we put all this information out there, the good work that we are doing, legislative work, community outreach work, charity work, all the good work that we are doing a multitude of programs out there. Why the members don't know about it? I believe in communication. It should be out there in every shape, way, and form, through blast emails, on APPNA website, even calling them out and see how are we performing. Give us your feedback.
Last question by Dr. Saima Zafar.
Thank you, Ji. So I would like to sort of segue into that question. The question I have is leading by example, and I'm glad you brought up the transparency issue about making everything available to the members. As far as APPNA is concerned, my mother used to say that when two people like each other, khali pet mohabbat nahi hoti. So contribution of personal funds to APPNA's charitable projects helps strengthen APPNA and is what gives APPNA a good name. As a candidate, do you believe in this philosophy of making the donation history of candidates, no matter what amount it is, transparent to the membership who will be selecting them?
Yes. I think all the history should be transparent about the candidate. we are physicians and we hold ourselves to better ethical standards from probably rest of the, the communities or the workforce out there. So in my should be held accountable. As far as donations are concerned, yes, whatever donations the candidates has given in the past, it should be out there, and if the member asks, why not? But this is how I see it. Volunteering is a two-pronged approach. First is the time donation. Second is the money donation. Some of us, we have plenty of time, we do part-time work. Yes, their time that they are donating towards a cause is probably equally important because we do need man-force. And then we are talking about funds itself because it depends on the kind of project that you have. If you want a university, of course, you're going to be needing tremendous amount of funds here. So if somebody gives you $100,000 and the other is just kind of building, the bricks out there and building blocks, both of them are kind of equally important. But financial transparency of donations are very important.
Thank you, Dr. Lubna. To answer the questions by our panel members, you will have 2 minutes for your concluding remarks. Thank you.
So I'm going to start from where I left behind. The service provided the opportunity to be the candidate for secretary. I'm asked about vision and goals, but I want to start with our core values of being physicians, as we are expected to hold high standards of ethics and behaviors. Let's be gracious and stop stereotyping and demonizing our colleagues. My vision is to unify our groups and work together as one entity rather than fragments. The problems we are facing are being faced by the physicians of the entire country. I intend to put the organizational muster rights to solve problems facing entire healthcare system. In order to do that, we need to reroute our political efforts from Pakistani politics to focus mostly on what matters the most to the physicians, that is healthcare and community well-being. To transform into member-driven organization offering tools and services to help improve their practices, improving and strengthening the governance processes, leadership education and jurisdiction of their roles without dominating the other. All-inclusive, equal volunteering opportunities for the entire membership, and putting merit first while constituting the committees. We'll encourage audits of all committees, its resources along with the center APPNA, and holding all committees accountable for their performance. To keep our influence, provide opportunities of mentoring and developing next generation of physicians. We should be at the table during debate and implementation stages of healthcare reforms and all issues facing medical professionals. Remember, if we are not at the table, then we are most probably on the menu. It's been a privilege to serve you as an APPNA treasurer, and I'm eager to serve you as an APPNA secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lubna. Thank you so much. I will now request candidates for the position of President-elect 2020. I will request Dr. Suhail Khan, Dr. Shahid Rashid, and Dr. Nahid Usmani to take the seats on the stage. President-elect 2019, that is correct. To be president in 2020. 2020, correct. Sorry for this error. As we started with opening remarks, I will request in alphabetic order Dr. Suhail Khan to have 2 minutes for opening remarks, please. Thank you.
आज तो बोल बोल के गला थक चुका है। एक शेर से शुरू करता हूँ। मोहब्बतों ने सभी रुतों में अजाब देखे, गिरफ्ता दिल घायल, अंदलीब गुलाब देखे। तो हमें अंदलीब पे जोर देना है। गिरफ्तार दिल और घायल चीज़ों को उस पे काम करना है. I think I have worked very hard for this organization, whether it be at the chapter level, whether it be at the alumni level, whether it be at the central APPNA level. जब मैं alumni में था, I changed Dukana that still people remember those changes that I implemented. Made a mark. Similarly, local chapter में 2014 I became a president of the local chapter. They were gracious enough to come together, work with me, and we were able to build an institution where we built APPNA PPS house. It was not just me, it was everyone involved. We were able to buy this property. 2 treasurers today, they have contributed, who are candidates, developed leadership, and you see that Illinois, there are 3 contenders today. That makes me proud. But we have a long way to go. This organization needs a lot of things that needs to be done. I feel proud sometimes when I hear the language that the candidates are speaking, that I put in legislation for this organization. I think my resume speaks for itself. I believe.
Thank you, Dr. Swain.
Thank you.
I'll request Dr. Shahid Rashid for opening remarks for 2 minutes. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and colleagues. Today is the beginning of a new dawn. Today is the happiest day that we, the physicians of Pakistani descent of North America, upheld our founding and democratic principles and proved that we might have rough roads, but we will not waver from what has assembled us together as one, APPNA, as stated in our preamble, so that collectively we all can uphold ethical and moral values, engage in social and professional activities, support educational and intellectual pursuit, upgrade medical care, and thus glorify our association. So help us God. Amen. Today, we have amicably resolved our disputes and formalities are in progress. No one can fathom the emotional, financial, and professional distress that my family and I endured during this time of struggle for justice. Reports were filed with FBI and other law enforcement agencies. Those included the places of my business and residence. I knocked on the doors of APPNA for more than 1 year to seek justice within our organization, but without success. I left no options but to approach the outside legal system for justice. This struggle have infused me with a renewed strength and made my conviction and passion firmly anchored into our founding principles. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to announce I will stand for those who are being victimized and deprived of justice. I will fight for justice. I will fight for the accountability. I will fight for the transparency, and I will fight for the supremacy of the Constitution in APPNA. To have a progressive, transparent, and strong
Thank you,
APPNA.
Dr. Shahid. Thank you so much. If you have to say anything, please come with the concluding remarks. I will invite Dr. Nahid Usmani for opening remarks for 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nahid Usmani, and I want your support for my bid for President-elect 2019 APPNA. Who am I? I am a professor of pediatric, practicing hematology oncology at University of Massachusetts in Worcester. My service to APPNA spans more than 20 years. Essentially, I have grown up in APPNA. I have been inspired for serving my community, my physician, friends, and alumni by my family. My mother was the first graduate of King Edward Medical College in Pakistan. She stood shoulder to shoulder with other men and women in the Muslim League when they were marching for Pakistan. My elder sister had a leadership position, and she volunteered many hours, days, months of her life, even at the end of her life, to this great institution and organization. My brother-in-law is another one who has been one of the people who has volunteered extensively. So based on that experience and that service, I have developed many innovative programs, mostly linked to education. I was the founding chair of APPNA Merit. I started APPNA Telemedicine. I went to Pakistan to start Shaukat Khanam Hospital Pediatric Oncology Program. That was extremely rewarding and challenging. At University of Massachusetts, I started a program called Sidekicks to increase the empathy in medical students, teaching them how to be better empathetic
Thank you, Dr.
physicians.
Usmani.
Thank you.
I'll request you to stay on the podium for the questions in reverse order, so you will not be answering the question very first time. Okay. So we'll give equal opportunity. I'll request Dr. Saima Zafar to ask the first question to our candidate for President-elect 2019. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Nahid. My question is, as this organization gets larger, there can be tendency for the institution to dampen the inspiration of its members. How do you keep that from happening?
I think what we haven't done up till now, APPNA has amazing projects that need to continue for perpetuity. We need to make sure that the good programs we have, we continue. But we haven't listened to our membership. There have been no surveys done of our membership. We have plenty of young physicians of North America, of Pakistani descent, who were born and bred in this country, went to school. We don't even know what the greater numbers are. If I was to ask each one of you to raise hands, if you have brought up children who are in medicine who do not participate in APPNA, we don't know. We have not made this organization relevant to the people who are young physicians. And I think the only way of doing that is getting them involved in asking them what they want out of APPNA. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Usmani. I will now request Dr. Shahid Rashid to come to podium, and I'll request Dr. Saima Zafar to please repeat the question.
Dr. Rashid, as an organization gets larger, there can be a tendency for the institution to dampen the inspiration of its members. How do you keep that from happening?
The organization, as the time goes by, that it increases in number, and the thing is that we need to keep the interest among the members, that their needs are being addressed, and especially as the new eras and new horizons are open, so we need to implement those things into our system. And for instance, that nowadays, like the telemedicine and the continuing education programs and the newly changes in the medical legal aspect of the medicine. So we have to introduce all those new things into, so that it could be more attractive to our members. And we need to evolve the different aspect of the organization as the need grows forward. And especially nowadays, we have the children. Our kids are growing in this country, and they need to get assimilated into the new communities. And we need to keep their connection with the Pakistani community and the culture. We need to have them, the resources available, those could be more attractive to them. So these are the things we need to implement here, so that could be more attractive to our young the children and the incoming physicians.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid Rashid. I'll now invite Dr. Sohail Khan to answer the same question from our panel member, Dr. Saima Zafar. If you can please repeat the question.
Absolutely. Dr. Khan, as an organization gets larger, there can be a tendency for the institution to dampen the inspiration of its members. How do you keep that from happening?
You know, this is a everyday changing process, and this process is dynamic. So you have to evolve. We are evolving. When this organization was made, nobody thought they were looking for leaders and they couldn't find, so they would ask, you become the leader. Then we have the election process started. Then we have, okay, let's do something for young physicians. Let's do other tangible projects. This is an evolving process. Right now, what is our need? We need a big, huge, mega project that will bring all of us together. That brings really those people who are sitting on the side. If there is somebody who has a religious mind, they don't like to come to APPNA. Why is that? Why do they say it's just a liberal organization? They have valid points. We are not catering to their needs. That's why they are not becoming members. We have to rectify ourselves. We have to look where, what do they want? Can we deliver that? We talked about APPNA University today. Why am I so passionate about it? Because I feel this is something tangible. Once our kids look at it, I've been mentoring kids, 3,500 has gone through PPS APPNA House in 3.5 years. I teach classes every week. I see them, they come there, but it takes a long time to mentor someone. It takes a short time to educate people in terms of, like young people. You need to empower them. You can't have a 50-year-old guy like me sitting on top of them and say, well, do this, I'll make you a co-chair, give them the money. Let them be in charge. Let their ideas flourish. We are not letting them do that.
Thank you, Dr. Suhail Khan. I will request now Dr. Shahid Rashid to take the second question by our second panel member, Dr. Zia Moiz. Please.
Is there any way I can raise this thing?
You can pull it out, I guess, if you want to. You can use this. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you.
So Dr. Shahid Rashid, I think most of us have a sense that the time nowadays is trying for the first generation Americans and members of diverse communities. Do you envision a role for APPNA in the context of American healthcare and the socio-cultural and political environment and conditions in the US?
The insurance, the influence of the current insurance into these socio...
No, the question is that the difficult times, do you see APPNA playing a role in the healthcare and the socio-political and cultural conditions of the country?
The APPNA, as we are all involved in different aspects of our practices into the American medical environment, the healthcare system. Our basically that what we have to do is that we need to get more involved into the aspect of addressing the issues what we are facing right now, the challenges we are facing here in the country, and we could be able to educate our physicians that how they could be able to meet the new challenges. And for that matter, we have to offer our the services to the local medical communities and the other healthcare providers to be the part of those, and that's one of the ways that we could be able to have our influence. And so this is just the start of the whole process.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid Rashid. I will now request Dr. Suhail Khan to come to podium for the same question, and I will request Dr. Zia Moiz to please repeat the question.
So, Dr. Sohail Khan, the same question that, as I said, there are difficult times for first-generation Americans and members of diverse communities. Do you envision a role, and if you do, can you articulate what you think would be APPNA's role in the current healthcare and socio-political and cultural conditions of the country?
Oh, absolutely. Big, huge role. We have not even touched the tip of the iceberg here. The geopolitical environment of this country is changing by the day, by the tweet, if I may say. More importantly, we do not have a seat in AMA. APPNA should have a seat in AMA. APPNA should have a voice in AMA. We need to come together. It says in our constitution, read our aims and objectives. First line it says, you will join hands with other institutions where you will build. I believe in universal health care. Many of us do. I understand what does it mean, antitrust laws, what does that mean? I understand what is the meaning of unionization. Doctors are losing money left and right. Why is Canadian doctors making more money today? They have a nationalized healthcare system. Have you seen a poor Canadian doctor in recent times? No. An internist makes more than $500,000 there. These are the things that we need to work on, and we are really lacking, by the way, because we are involved in so many things, yet we do not have a handle on what we need to do. We have 40 committees, but 40 committees, we are not able to articulate. We are not even able to give them time to represent and tell them what they are doing. There is an enormous amount of work that is going on. This year, we have hired a project manager. His things are not identified, but we need regular staff. You know how much Illinois State Medical Society has, how many people they work with, what kind of staff they have. We have a $250,000
Thank you, Dr. Suhail Khan. Thank you so much.
expense for the office, but we need to expand on it. Thank you.
I will request Dr. Nahid Usmani to take the podium for the same question. Will you please repeat the question?
Same question that I think difficult times and envision a role, and if you do, can you articulate what you see as APPNA's role in the healthcare and the social, cultural, and political condition and situation in the country?
Absolutely. I think this is a wake-up call for APPNA. I think Dr. Lubna Naeem said it very clearly that if you are not part of the engagement, that you're going to be part of the menu. We need, I think the first step that APPNA has done that I am so happy about is creating the South Asian Physician Association of North America, SAPNA. Numbers is what it counts. So when we go to a representation of about 100,000 members, it will make a difference for American Medical Association. Anytime when we go on our advocacy trips to Day on the Hill, it will make a difference when it's not just 2,500 or 3,000 APPNA members, but 100,000 physicians talking about individual physician rights and ethnic minorities. I think another thing that we have to do is we have to get engaged with local medical societies, whether they are state medical boards or they are the medical societies of each town. We need to get engaged and start representing and participating in the greater medical dialogue. I think we all need to get engaged in the advocacy committee so that when we have opportunities of engaging our congressmen and our senators and our representatives, not only in DC, but within our own states, we should engage them and talk to them and about our needs, our insecurity, and what threatens us. Lastly, we are wonderful.
Thank you, Dr. Osmani, so much. Last question. Now we'll request Dr. Sohail Khan to be the first to answer this question, and I'll request Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh to please have the question.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sohail Khan. My question to you as the presidential candidate is, what is your impression of conflict management and resolution in APPNA, and what would you do differently to improve it as president?
Thank you very much for asking this question. All right, start right here. Thank you. I think we are all cut out the same way. We're no different from each other. We need to be open. We need to be able to talk to each other. We need to listen to each other. In a bigger scheme of things, we are very small people, very, very tiny. Our organization has suffered because of, these are not new things, by the way. 60s, there were some fightings that I'm aware of, 70s, 80s, 90s. Many things have happened, but that's okay. We learn through this. We have to empower our young. As I said, they need to take the leadership. Why is it not possible for a 30-year-old to be a president of this organization? Why is it not possible for us to step back, educate them, mentor them? I was at the past president's luncheon, very fortunately. One thing I said there, and I said, it is good that when you want to have something done, you ask for their help. No, that is not right. You need to have a legislation with empowerment so that they can have something tangible done. You can have many of those who have stood on the side, and many of them say, okay, well, we all created this organization. We don't want to be part of this anymore because we have broken their spirit. Please do not do that.
Thank you, Dr. Sohail Khan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. I will now request Dr. Shahid Rashid for the same question. Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh, please.
Sorry, I have to bend so much.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Shahid Rashid. I saw him hugging you, so based on that question, what is your impression of conflict, the resolution and management in the APPNA, and what would you do differently to improve it as president?
First, that why he hugged me, because he loves me like all of you love me. So thank you for loving me. And as far as this conflict resolution is concerned, that first and foremost is that we need to have a committee that should have the conflict resolution role, which is specifically defined. It should not overstep into the domains of other committees, so that if there is any conflict, so that could be brought to that resolution committee. That should be consisting of the seniors of our association, so they could be able to listen and try to resolve the issue in an amicable fashion. Most of the time, in these situations that happen, that it can be addressed, and it can be as long as we listen to each other and the things are done according to our existing bylaws and the Constitution. God forbid, if this thing does not go that far and still the resolution remains, The thing is that we could be able to invite the third-party arbitration, in which, as the arbitration goes here, that whatever is the decision made by the arbitration committee, that is a binding by the court. So this way, the organization will not be able to get into the unnecessary litigation. But before we go into, as we know in all of our practices, the first thing is that we must communicate, we must hear that what the issue is. Unless we don't try to listen to the person and try to respond, the things are going to get further and further distant. And obviously, before we do anything, that we need to make sure that the justice is served, and that will only be served that if we follow the Constitution and the bylaws, and that is the key for the growth and the attraction to all the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid Rashid. Now I'll request Dr. Naeed Osmani to take the last question by Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Naeed Osmani. No mention of any previous problems. Question: what is your impression of conflict resolution and management in APPNA, and what would you do differently to improve it as president?
Thank you, Dr. Mushtaq. Hopefully never. I should not have any problems because there are two things I believe in: transparency, and we have all the rules that exist in APPNA constitutions and bylaws. We just need to implement them. We have an ethics grievance, ability to have an ethics grievance committee to deal with it. We have board of trustees. And I think it's absolutely essential that we should have conflict resolution training at the start of our, when we start into leadership positions. All of us need to have training so that we know how to communicate with each other so that we can resolve the conflicts before they get out of hand. Third-party arbitration is essential, an external third-party arbitration that does not involve the trustees or the officers of our association, so that it's totally non-partisan. And this I'm all speaking as somebody who has been outside the conflicts that have belabored our beloved association. I think this is the only way forward. Whatever happens in APPNA, the membership has a right to know. It should not be hidden. It should be communicated to each and every one of us. All voices should be heard. And then we should have a way where, last year, I actually, just as an aside in conclusion, I last year took a course of mindfulness leadership. It was a year-long course in which, to be a leader, you have to be mindful of other people. You have to listen to other people.
Thank you, Dr. Naeed Osmani. Before we start our last segment, I will also at the end request Chairman of Nomination and Election Committee, Dr. Ruh Afza Afridi, to say some concluding remarks. So before we end this session, please be seated for the concluding remarks by our committee chair. As the last segment is for the concluding remarks by our candidates, so I will now invite Dr. Shahid Rashid for 2 minutes, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, to have a progressive, transparent, and strong APPNA, justice and accountability should be the keystones of our organization. Strict policies should be implemented for involving any law enforcement agencies, requiring a unanimous approval of the Executive Council for such an action. To prevent the future litigations, a third-party arbitration process should be initiated. Have an independent Constitution and Bylaws Committee, Election and Nomination Committee, and the Membership Committee. It is time to delegate the authority of decision-making to the Ethics and Grievances Committee. We will make APPNA Women's Chapter and a Physicians in Training Chapter with the voting rights in the Executive Council to increase our membership. We will raise voice for equal pay for women physicians. We will make APPNA meetings affordable for all and strive for financial independence. My dear friends and colleagues, I stand humbly before you today to reaffirm my commitment to APPNA for the sake of its mission, for the sake of its members, for the sake of its founding principles. I stand for the future of APPNA, for its growth, and for its honorable purpose. I have the honor of serving this organization for more than 20 years. I was the secretary and the treasurer of this association. I'm the founding member of APPNA San Antonio chapter and Anesthesia and Pain Society. I had the opportunity to initiate scholarships for students. I helped establish APPNA House in Chicago, APPNA Institute of Public Health in Pakistan, and I was engaged in philanthropic work all over the country. It is not all about winning an election or campaign. What is more important for me is to stand by those who believe in principles, morality, transparency, conviction, and is standing up to those who defy these principles.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shahid Rashid, for your concluding remarks. I will now request Dr. Sohail Khan for your concluding remarks. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. I stand here as a candidate in front of you for APPNA President-elect. I feel I have earned the acumen. I have worked in every capacity, almost every committee, and through that process, I've gone through the ranks. I believe in the process, and I've demonstrated that over and over again, whether it be Illinois State Medical Society, where I was treasurer, secretary, president of the County Medical Society, whether it be Dogana, where I stayed treasurer, secretary, president. It's APPNA, same process. I am patient enough to see that these processes happen, the things that we put, we ground wire the right things in the legislation, and we have to foresee things, not for just today, but we have to foresee 25 years from now, 30 years from now, where this organization is going to be, what our children is going to do, or whether it will benefit or will exist or not. But anyway, institutional building, financial growth, election reforms, you can see my imprint on all those things in APPNA. Please take a look at my resume. I believe that I don't need to go in front of everyone. Everyone can take a look at the resume and decide who is their candidate, and inshallah, one day we will get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sohail Khan. Last, Dr. Naeed Osmani for concluding remarks, please. 2 minutes.
So I think I'm an innovator. I create new programs. I'm an administrator. I develop those programs and implement them so that they are long-lasting. I'm very proud of APPNA Merit, and I appreciate the opportunity it gave me to work with all the alumni of APPNA in this country and to work with all the medical colleges in Pakistan, from Peshawar all the way down to Dow University. I worked and visited every single medical college in Pakistan, talked with them, and tried to meet their needs. And I worked very closely with their counter alumni in this country. Similarly, I was able to implement telemedicine, and I learned from that project. And I think my vision for APPNA is that we need to get the North American medical graduates of Pakistani descent in. There are more of them right now than the 3,000 members that we have here right now. They are our future. We need to listen to them. We need to get them to be active, to start contributing to the Pakistani Physician Association of North America. My second vision is that all the wonderful programs that we have, we need to make sure that they continue in perpetuity. And these are the philanthropic ones and the medical education ones. And we need them to be geared towards the membership. It should be what the membership wants. They should not be imposed, they should not be prescriptive.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nahid Usmani. I again request Dr. Ruhaf Afridi to please come to podium for concluding remarks. And I'm very special thanks to our panel members for these little difficult questions. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I would like to thank all of you for being here this late in the day when everybody would like to be back and getting dressed for the dinner. I think it is very important for our organization that we all participate. Participation is the main thing. If you leave it to other people to run your organization, your home, or to raise your kids, then the result is in their hands and not in yours. So thank you once again, and please make sure that next time around you convince your friends to be here for this gathering. In particular, I would like to thank our panelists. They have been very kind to use their time when they would rather be out with their friends. And I would like to thank my committee. I think I'm blessed to have the best people in this organization on my committee. They have helped me all the time and helped me resolve conflicts, and at any time of the day or night I can approach them. I would also like to thank members of this organization and the executive committee for never once telling me what to do. Somebody alluded, please do not listen to others, and I told them, I don't listen, but I must admit, nobody's trying to tell me what to do. So thank you all, have a great evening, and I hope that we have a wonderful election. I would like to thank the candidates for being so cooperative as well. Thank you.